news.
Hey, howdy, and a big welcome back to Clemhawks, folks. I'm Yak, ready to take you through tonight's edition of NHL Live on Clemhawks as we get set for the Detroit Red Wings and Anaheim Ducks. Folks, we've got Gilles TV, we've got Clem joining us, the boys back together for yet another live stream this evening. It seems like every time the Oilers ain't playing, we've been live lately, boys. Is that the plan or what?
Yep, just wait for baseball season.
I mean, summer's going to be a long one, and that's the exciting part. Is if I have it my way, I'll have plenty of time for baseball this year. So we'll see how things shake out this, well, hockey off season. But Clem, good evening to you. Do you got a proper stream this evening, or are we going to have to call a game for you again?
I think we're good.
All right, Clem thinks we're good, so that means, my friends, we are going to have Clem call the first period this evening the whole way through. Gilles TV and yours truly, Yak, here will pretty much take you home on the color commentary, and we will do everything else that needs to be done for Clem, who will be calling this evening's matchup. Other than that, as we get set for tonight's game, I would like to acknowledge the fact that everybody that's tuned into the stream, just off the top, if you're tuning in afterwards, I really appreciate everyone tuning in, and it's really great that you've chosen to stop by Clemhawks for your hockey needs this evening. We'd love to have you stick around, so if you'd be so kind to consider hitting that subscribe button and staying tuned after this free trial of what we do here on Clemhawks, that would be great of you. Other than that, Gilles TV, we see the Ducks live for another live stream here on Clemhawks. Take me through what we're going to see. Are we going to see Mr. Trevor Zegras try another lacrosse move like the one failed the other night when we were streaming after we had finished?
Well, this is going to be an exciting game. Hopefully we see that from Zegras, but Detroit has some young, talented players too. Raymond and Sider. So it's going to be young versus young here. I'm tempted to see if Detroit goes Sider against Zegras.
Ooh, that would be... Well, I mean, Cedar is one of those guys that's evolving into a quick, elite, two-way defenseman at the NHL level. It would be definitely interesting to see his deployment this evening against the Anaheim Ducks top guys. And, of course, for the Ducks, how you game plan for a Detroit defense is going to be an interesting part of this, too. Clem, you've had a couple of moments here to study the Red Wings, study the Ducks a little further than you had before the last stream. What are we looking for on the lineup combinations?
This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that the Red Wings are probably going to dominate this game, and I'll give you two reasons. Two reasons here why. First, Anaheim gives up like almost 5 goals a game. They kind of suck. They're also way worse of a team. So they're going to give up a lot of goals. Number two, no team in the NHL has racked up more penalty minutes this season than, you guessed it, the Ducks. They have 229 penalty minutes in 15 games. I'm not really good at math, but that's a lot. They also have the second worst penalty kill at 64%, which means they're allowing a goal at 36% clip. That's over every 1 in 3 tries, which probably also is the reason why they're giving up 5 goals a game. So they're going to lose pretty badly because they're going to get penalties. And then the other team, the Red Wings, are going to score on the penalties.
That's a pretty astute breakdown right there. When Clem said he was going to study things this evening for us here to get things going, I did not expect that kind of breakdown, but there you go, folks. We've come to play this evening here on Clemhawks as we get set for the Red Wings and Ducks at the top of the clock. We're 7:56 Mountain Time right now. Of course, it's a 10 p.m. Eastern start because it is all the way out on the West Coast. The Ducks hosting the Red Wings this evening as a big part of tonight's game. As just a quick note here as well to you, if at all you see things kind of something's out of sorts or you want to mention something, don't be afraid to throw something in the chat with us this evening. We'd love to hear from you and, of course, interact with you if you've got something important to say about the game. As we get set for this one, Gilles TV returns, which means the next question to him. My friend, we've got ourselves a game. Clem just broke it down. The Ducks are going to shoot themselves in the foot every chance they get, according to their first 15 games of the NHL season so far. What would you look at as a Red Red Wings fan to do against the Ducks tonight? Is it the young guns who are going to go out there and score a ton of goals, or what are we expecting from the Red Wings offense tonight?
Well, we seen it last night in the stream Calgary LA. Just put pucks on net. There's a reason why Florida has 40 plus shots per game average when they shoot the puck. The Red Wings need to do that. They are one of the most improved teams after the offseason, and it's showing this year. Put the puck on net and get that third line, whose I think combined height is 6'8". Get them into the greasy areas. They could pop one or two in easily on Anaheim if they do that.
And that's where we see tonight, right? Anaheim's likely to give up at least about 5 goals is Clem's projection, I guess, not prediction, projection. And when you look at it that way, is it's one of those things right now for the Ducks and the Red Wings of this game could turn quite quickly. Clem, what do we know of the Red Wings that could maybe back up what Brandon is saying here this evening?
Yeah, I don't know too many of the guys on the Red Wings. I'll be straight up. Hold on, I got my notes here. It's loading. Oh, I went to the wrong tab. Hold on. 1 second. Okay. The dude whose name is like Cesarnik.
Jarnik?
Yeah. He's out, so that'll be bad for the Red Wings. But they got their man. I like this guy's name, Bertuzzi. They got Bertuzzi back in there, and I think he's on like the first line. I think so.
Put a little bit more English on it. Bertuzzi.
No, I want Bertuzzi.
That's Bertuzzi though. Those Red Wings fans will fry you for it.
I don't care. He's back, so I think they're gonna rely on him tonight. Also, I think Dylan Larkin's pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, so that first line's pretty good.
All right.
Well, with the addition of, what Detroit did over the offseason, Perron, Kopp, Kubalik, they got Ben Sherrod on defense. They got Ville Husso in a trade with the St. Louis Blues. This team is stacked offensively. Defense is still a little bit of a question mark, but they got a solid goalie, and Nedokovic as a backup is solid too. So, that offense, adding those 3 players was huge for Detroit.
They've always had problems with defense, though.
Detroit?
Yes.
Over the past 5-ish years, but historically Detroit's been one of the better defensive teams. However, now you're sitting here.
Well, they sucked when they played the Wild last year. I know that.
That's over the past 5 years, and that's where they're now starting to crawl out of the dark depths of the rebuild and start coming out and coming alive a little bit. And this will be a really interesting kind of season for the Red Wings, I guess you could say, as we look forward to seeing what they're going to do as things kind of progress along this year. If this year will be a real giant step forward, or if it'll just kind of be a small little progression in the right column for them, more or less. The Canucks winning 5-4 tonight, which is a huge get for them. Obviously, they needed a victory and try and keep going in the Pacific. Detroit's 7-5-3 on the season, so they're above 500, which is a big improvement. The Ducks 4-10-1. Pardon me. And you talk about a guy who's having a hard time. We talked about this a little bit last night between Gilles TV and I about John Gibson, guys like him, guys like Markstrom, guys like Jack Campbell, who are just not having the seasons they've had previously. John Gibson, 2-8-1 for the Ducks so far this year, 447 goals against average and an 888 save percentage. So, terrible numbers. Opposed by Ville Husso, who's had a 5-2-2 record, 2 shutouts, by the way, 254 goals against average, and a 920 save percentage. So this is where I really think this comes down to it. You start getting a Husso a bit, I think you crack a lot of goals on him. Because when you consider that he's got 9 games played and 2 shutouts, you look at what those 7 games would look like without those 2 shutouts. It's not quite as fancy as the 254 and 920 would lead you to believe. Gilles TV, a thought on the goaltending matchup this evening?
Well, it's in favor of the Red Wings. John Gibson, sorry to say, is washed up. He's not playing at the high level he used to. He's not the goalie he used to. You can say, well, he had better defense back in the day, which is true. When you think about it, Theodore, Montour, Fowler, Lindholm, all those guys, now they don't have that defense. And I got to give the goaltending to the Detroit Red Wings in this favorite matchup.
All right, so we got it going here in terms of the goaltending. We've got the pregame covered up. Is there anything else we can sit here and discuss as the clock flips to the game live on? Is it ESPN Plus tonight, or who's got it live? I guess they're also talking about Joe
I know
Veleno
ESPN Plus
tonight,
has it.
who has not been very useful for the Red Wings so far this year, but they're looking forward to hopefully seeing him change things up. Number 90 for the Red Wings this evening. The lineup: Bertuzzi, Larkin, Raymond, Kubalik, Kopp, Ernie, Sundqvist, Rasmussen, Perron, Berggren, Veleno, and Pius Suter. And then you got Sherratt, Cedar, Mata, Hronik, Wallman, and the former Edmonton Oiler Jordan Oesterle as well on the back end for the Detroit Red Wings. Guys that you forget in the league, Jordan Oesterle. That's
Why am I blacked out from this game?
Well, I could not tell you.
I literally pay for ESPN Plus so that I can see the freaking games in the West Coast. What the frick, NHL?
I don't know. Blackouts, MLB's bad for him, NHL's bad for him, and it just is the way it is. But it looks
I thought
like
you couldn't watch games in your own area because of whatever reason.
That's what I thought.
Why am I being blacked out of a game that has nothing to do with a team close to me?
Well,
Detroit is not that close.
aren't you in Michigan now? No, you're in
No, I'm in Wisconsin.
which is close to Michigan. I wonder if Wisconsin,
What the frick?
I wonder if Wisconsin gets considered as a viewing area for Michigan.
I mean, it must. Well,
It must. All right.
then I guess we're having fun with other places.
All
One
right.
thing I do want to bring up,
Okay.
pregame before it goes, is Adam Ernie has been promoted to the second line. He did start on the third and fourth lines. He's been playing pretty good as of late. Good to see a promotion, which means David Perron has moved to the third line.
And David Perron will provide a little bit more of a balanced attack for the Red Wings on the third line. I think that's pretty evident right there, is that's going to be a pretty big get for the Red Wings in a sense of just balancing out the lines if Ernie can produce in the top six. Coming up, the broadcast is going to discuss about the Ducks. Troy Terry leading the way in the points department so far this season as we get set for this evening's game between the Anaheim Ducks and Detroit Red Wings. I'd like to extend a welcome to everybody who's joined the live stream here recently. Thanks so much for being along this evening. Really appreciate it, folks. It's the Red Wings and Ducks in a moment of matter of time. We'd love to have you along if you could just stay tuned. I've got Clem and Gilles TV here alongside. I'm Yak as we get set for tonight's matchup. It's like I said, the Ducks and Red Wings, a matchup that I think normally last year would have been considered a really bad matchup to watch. And now all of a sudden you got the Red Wings on the rise. And here we go, got things rolling. And maybe tonight's going to be something special for the Detroit Red Wings. Clem, one more time, just a key point on the Ducks and kind of that situation that they're going to be looking at. And U.S. versus Canada's live?
Yes, 4 minutes ago.
Nice. Clem? Clem, you there?
What?
Yeah? That goal situation for the Ducks and how it lines up for the Red Wings tonight.
Well, Gibson sucks. Gibson's not good.
On with
Ducks.
Ducks.
He's on the team. Who's this guy?
What guy?
The guy who's in goal for the Ducks.
Is it not Gibson tonight?
Who plays for the Kings then?
Quick.
Oh, yeah, Gibson's not very good either.
No, Gibson hasn't been very good at all this season. He hasn't been very good for a while, and that's kind of extended over to this season, and we'll see what the outcome of that is tonight. It's a situation where Gibson's given up almost 4.5 goals a game, so we'll see what happens and that's where we just got to kind of live and die by what happens in this game as we continue to watch this NHL season progress here on Clemhawks. Folks, it's the 7-5-3 Red Wings versus the 4-10-1 Ducks. Gilles TV, as you get the sucker ready tonight. Both of you had suckers in the past 2 nights. Kind of getting jealous here. I wish I had some Halloween candy kicking around the house. Just a quick blurb on basically what the Red Wings might get from Ville Husso tonight.
Hopefully a solid effort. You know, they're one of the top teams in their division. They look to stay that way. And they brought in Husso via trade, I believe it was, and re-signed him because they think he could be that number 1 goalie in the NHL for a while. And he just needs to have a solid game. Keep the rebounds close where he can cover them up. If he can't, kick them to the corner boards.
So as we get set for tonight's matchup, just a quick thought between both of you guys. Final scores in this one, right? I don't think we could have called the final scores between the Kings and Flames last night, but Clem, to you first, the final score tonight.
Say 4-1.
4-1 for the Red Wings?
Of course.
Gilles TV.
5-2 Red Wings.
So we're going in that realm of a couple of big goals here from the Red Wings all night long, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that, quite honestly. I'd assume that we will see quite a bit of goal scoring from the Red Wings based on the information both of you have brought forward. As long as the Ducks don't somehow come out of the way and blow things out of the water a little bit, we should be fine as well to see the Ducks score only a few goals tonight, so we'll see how that translates out this evening. Of course, with Tyler Bertuzzi back in the lineup for the Detroit Red Wings, it'll be interesting to see what he can bring to the lineup. And of course, as it sits, the Red Wings above 500. They've been a pretty good offense so far this year, and they're looking forward to bringing it ahead another game. Of course, Dominik Kubalik leading the way in goals and assists and points, 7, 11, and 18 so far this season. Husso's got 5 wins on the season out of the 7 wins, 5 out of 7 wins for the Detroit Red Wings. And when you look at it here, stats on the season for players in the NHL, I believe Kubalik should be sitting just outside of the top 10 if I can get my stats to load here. In fact, Kubalik is probably in that number 11 spot as it currently sits in the NHL. So that's where you're looking, is Kubalik's in that number 11 slot around the NHL. Second of 2 meetings this season between the Ducks and Red Wings, October 23rd. 5-1 win in Detroit for the Detroit Red Wings. 15 of the last 16 games versus Anaheim have been decided by 2 or fewer goals. Of course, the exception, October 23rd. And 2-3-3 in last 8 road games versus the Ducks, outscored 19-16 in the span. So the Red Wings looking to get to 3-3-3 in the past 9 games against the Anaheim Ducks. We'll see if that holds true through the first period. Of course, with it being an 8 o'clock game time, I will be heading out after the first period of play. Boys, you are more than welcome to continue things here on Clemhawks if you want, but I will be heading out as the end of the first period approaches. All right, starting goalies, Husso versus Gibson. We know this. We've talked about this. Looks like the Ducks are going in their reverse retro gear again tonight. The old kind of new tone Ducks colors with the old tone Mighty Ducks mask as we get set for tonight's action. Gibson looking to redeem himself a little bit here tonight against the upswing Red Wings, but we'll see if it holds true here. And Tyler Bertuzzi drawn in. Folks, we're set for hockey. Boys lining up at center ice. Guys, just quickly, one last thing, one thought each. Let's go.
I'm looking for the physicality that Bertuzzi can bring to this lineup even more than what they have now.
Husso looks pretty good. I'm going to go – they're going to lean heavily on him. He's going to make a ton of saves tonight, and they're going to win pretty good.
All right, so the Ducks have it in the offensive zone to begin this game. 19:44 to go in the first period. Ducks working it to the near side end wall. They can't get it going, and the Red Wings on the turnover will get it up to center where Bertuzzi's got it. He's going to go cross crease, and Dylan Larkin fires a shot off the stick. That was looking to be a prime scoring opportunity right out of the gate, but couldn't get it going. So That's kind of what the Red Wings are going to do. Look to get on the rush, look to score some goals with the speedy, of course, Dylan Larkin. Tyler Bertuzzi, not too bad himself. And hopefully for the Ducks, they can hold back the steady Eddie attack of the Detroit Red Wings. But we'll see what happens tonight. Face off to the left of Gibson, back to the defense here, and that is a win for the Red Wings. Shot fired, hits somebody in front, bounces right on the stick of a Red Wing, punched away by the blocker of Gibson. Now behind the net, Ernie's got it. He's looking out front, now turns to the forehand and cuts into the far side corner. This one to the far side corner still. Work now out of the near side point, shot comes in off the pads of Gibson. Retrieved there by the Ducks, turned over by the Red Wings forecheck, and to the near side it comes, half wall, shot fired, save Gibson on the mighty Ducks crest. And we've got a stoppage of play with 18:57 to go this evening. Pretty impressive start for the Red Wings, I guess you could say right there, getting in on the forecheck.
Yeah, pretty good pressure by them to start this game out.
All right, so Tyler Bertuzzi and his line off the ice. Sundqvist draws in, and it is a face-off right here that gets, well, tied up for a second. A man goes out, man comes in for the Ducks. Silfverberg now in to take it, and the puck is down. Ducks tie it back, and they will fire it into the neutral where it's turned over there by the Red Wings. They grab it. It'll be moved here, and a chance for the Red Wings to get out of their own zone. They do up the boards. Shot doesn't go down low into the zone, so the Red Wings recover the puck and retrieve back into their own end before firing it into Ducks territory. Gibson out to play it on the backhand, rims it around the boards, and the Ducks are flying through the neutral down the wing, and they've got an opportunity here to come up with this puck, but it gets past Silfverberg where it comes to the near side wall, and looks like we've got a penalty upcoming and a little bit more as Perron was taken out with a trip, and I'm really not sure what that was all about. And now we got a scuffle along the near side corner.
Again, yeah, that was an unnecessary play by, I think that was Vetrano after the whistle is gone.
Now he goes to the corner where he's surrounded by red sweaters. This started back in the zone. David Perron.
Hey, you can't play that on stream.
Oh, like I'm trying.
Mute your mic.
Figure it out. All right, here we go. So, yeah, that's just one of those weird plays where he tried to get a little greasy with it, and nobody will go to the box there for the Ducks. So the shot fired in on Huso. He'll steer it in behind the net. Leaves the defenseman vulnerable, but he makes a good play. The Ducks, 2 men along the boards, come up with it, and they will work into the near side corner down low, and a man's wide open in front of the net there for a brief second. They couldn't get the pass in front back to the blue line. Far side point, shot from the middle point comes in, and it's blocked. So now the Ducks come to the near side corner yet again. They're going to work here along that half wall there, trying to get something going in the offensive zone. Knocked down, can't get it going, and back to the near side corner it goes. Shot from a sharp angle. This is the Ducks taking a page out of the Kings last night, and out of the Flames, just fire it on net and good things will happen. And that's exactly what the effort was there for the Ducks on that last play. Now the Ducks and Red Wings engaged in the Ducks zone after the Red Wings turned it over. The Ducks, Cam Fowler comes up with it. He'll chip it into the neutral. Red Wings recover. Here comes Bertuzzi down the left wing. He drops it off for Larkin, who just chips it down off the end boards. This one back to the point, turned over again onto a Red Wing stick, but the defender all kinds of turned around with Cedar, and he will retreat back to his own blue line looking for a pass. He's got it now, rims it across the boards, and now down the ice it goes on the dump in. The Red Wings again, Johnny on the spot, getting to a dump in. They can't retrieve it though, and it'll come back the other way. And this one now on the attack for the Ducks. They've got an opportunity after crossing the blue line, chance to the backhand of the Ducks player in front, couldn't get it going, and now they'll look rink wide for Bertuzzi, who sees it go past him. Gibson out to play it, he'll leave it there for his defenseman. This one a little bit wide open, right? We talked about a little bit of high flying speed in this one, and so far the transition game's going good for each team's getting in and out of zones quick and moving the puck. Ducks got it in the Red Wings zone, now Wings are able to clear. They will fire it off the glass in their own zone, work it to the bench. The Ducks almost took a too many men call, forced by themselves, hitting the old man almost. He didn't play it, however, and they were able to get it into the wing zone where it's just kind of batting around there. It's kind of been a weird period where the puck's just bouncing around. Nobody can really corral it and sustain zone pressure. And again, that one just a weird hop in the middle of the Red Wings zone where it hops onto a Duck stick, but out of the zone. They'll dump it in now. And the Red Wings again there to retreat and get it. Osterley plays it ahead, and here come the Red Wings in full steam. 2-on-2 back the other way, cutting to the net, trying to move the Connor McDavid backhand, forehand, back of the net move. The Red Wings couldn't get it going. Back behind the Ducks net, the Ducks get the turnover on the defensive recovery. They will work it here throughout their zone, looking for a passing play that's going to get it out, and potentially right here it is. They're out of their zone. Now a man on the ice and two right-handed shots there kind of collide and toss up that puck for a moment. And boys, this is some wide open action here. You guys have had no speaking lines because the Ducks and Red Wings are just playing straight up hockey, going minutes without a whistle here. Now a chance for the Ducks to retreat onto defense. They do, as a successful recovery on a back check will allow them to keep the Red Wings at bay and get them out of the zone. And here comes a one-on-one back the other way, developing into a 2-on-1 shot turned aside by Husso on the original attacker. Shot goes back down and the Ducks instead retrieve at the blue line. Shot by Husso saved. And now this one here behind the Red Wings net. The Ducks suddenly pressuring heavily in the Red Wings zone. They're going to fire it around to the near side. Here's an opportunity. It'll be moved to the middle of the ice. Shot save Husso again. Now all of a sudden he's been tested quite a bit here. The Ducks, nobody at the point. They'll have to retreat to the neutral, get a line change, and carry in. They do. They've got it to the near side half wall, now into the near side corner near the goal line. Back up to the face-off dot. Pass across, faked, and here's the move. And it looks like we've got a Ducks penalty for interference. So that will be a stoppage in play at last. Folks, good evening. Welcome to Clemhawks. I'd like to now engage after what feels like 4 minutes without a whistle. Clem and Gilles TV. Boys, wide open to start this game. Both teams battling. The puck bounces. What do we think?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good game. That penalty by Carrick, though, unnecessary. You're 190 feet roughly from your net. You don't need to take that.
Clem, what have you seen?
I'm learning people's names here, so I've just been seeing a lot of puck passing.
A lot of puck passing in this game, that is for sure so far. The Ducks without Kevin Shattenkirk tonight, and of course the Red Wings actually without Elmer Soderblom as well. So we talked about big guys. They're without one of their big guys on the back few lines. Here's a chance now on the power play for the Red Wings. They've won the face-off and setting up the attack now. They're going to work to the near side boards and look for an opportunity. Perron will go down low. Chance goes back to the blue line. Cedar across for the one-timer. Doesn't get it. Shot still comes. Save Gibson, who's faced so far 3 shots. Now back to the middle. It deflects off somebody in front, and it'll work its way all the way down to Ville Husso. We've got 13:45 left to play in this first period here between the Red Wings and Ducks in Anaheim. This one worked ahead, and Perron will get it across the line to Sundqvist, who will see it go down. It'll go off the boards and around. And again, out of the Ducks zone, all the way down into the Red Wings territory, where they will retreat, recover, and restart this power play with $1:12 to go. Cedar through the neutral. He'll dump it off to the forward charging up. Now coming in on the attack, the Red Wings bust through a couple guys. They're looking for a pass behind. Couldn't get it going, and it goes back to the near or far side point, And a chance here for the Red Wings on the far side to set something up. Pass down low, pass up high, pass to the middle. Looking for something to open up, and an opportunity does, but it goes off a Duck stick. And now across to the near side they go, and here's an opportunity. The shot upcoming. They go back to the high point. Shot comes in from there. Rebound, scores. I don't think it was a rebound, but it's an opportunity at the side of the net, and it's a power play goal for the Detroit Red Wings after a bounce in front hits somebody, and that will be a power play goal for the Red Wings on a big time shot. And is that Lucas Raymond, number 52?
No, it hit Anaheim's.
That's Berggren.
Face. Yeah. That was Bergman's first NHL career goal.
Berggren scores his first career NHL goal after the shot hits somebody in the face. What a way to do it. Pounce on unfortunate territory there for White, who I'm sure may still actually be down based on how heavy of a shot that hit up high. But a big get for Berggren, who gets some big hugs from his teammates. And there you go. You've got a kid in the NHL scoring his first career NHL goal. Anybody that you know that's a Red Wings fan, they're high on Jonathan Berggren, sorry. 3 games this year, 1 goal, 1 assist so far, and 10 minutes and 14 seconds time on ice so far this season. And now the Detroit Red Wings lead 1-0 here with 12:41 to go in this first period. Clem, have you watched the goal yet?
Yeah.
How'd it look?
Pretty good. I knew they were going to score there. Ducks suck on the power play. I can't defend it.
That is 100%. The Ducks operating in the mid-60s on the penalty kill this season, and that's another
Who said that
situation.
at the beginning of the show?
What?
Who said that at the beginning
Who
of the
said
show?
that at the beginning of the show?
I did.
Their win probability now fully in the Red Wings' favor at 67% here early in this hockey game. It's fired down the ice, and here's an opportunity now for the Red Wings in their own zone to recover. They will. They'll retreat in 12 minutes to go in this first period of play. They've gotten in the offensive zone, shots 4 apiece, and the Ducks now all of a sudden generating speed through the neutral zone. Turnover, 2 Red Wings collide, and they're able to get it up and out and into the middle of the ice where it goes down. And here's an opportunity to do something with it. They can't. And an unfortunate situation there for the Red Wings, who looked like they were busting out effectively. But the Ducks, however, will miss a pass, ice it, and we will have a face-off in the Ducks zone. So we're sitting in a pretty weird situation to begin this game. The Ducks, they find themselves on the penalty kill early and give up a goal. And I only mean weird because, simply put, for White, he takes that shot up high and it leads to a goal against. That's got to be the worst feeling in the world. You get injured, you're down on the penalty kill, and not even a second later the puck's in the back of the net. It's a weird way to start scoring, but it's what happens in the NHL, and it's a pretty big goal for Jonathan Berggren. I got to remember it's Berggren. Anyway, folks, we've got ourselves a chance here to be back to the point for the Red Wings. We'll work rink wide and shoot it in from the far side point. They can't get the shot on goal. The Ducks push it along the near side boards, and the Red Wings recover. Bertuzzi with a quick shot denied. Mata now playing the wing. An opportunity there. Great redirect in front by the Red Wings forward, but couldn't get it going. This one will be lifted down the ice. And my friends, we will have no icing call as it's covered up just a few inches before the goal line by the Red Wings, who work it back into the neutral onto the stick of the Ducks. And my friends, we got less than 11 minutes to play in this game. Shot fired, blocked by the Red Wings. They'll recover. They'll work it out of the zone off the boards. The good old, hey, the boards are your friends play, where I think a lot of minor hockey kids need to learn that from what I've watched out there in the small towns this season. This one worked back to the Ducks blue line. Boys, we have almost made it halfway through this first period. What's the thoughts so far?
Keep pressing the gas pedal if you're Detroit. That was a beautiful shot pass by Bertuzzi. He seems really sharp this game.
He's dialed in, that's for sure. And Clem, just quickly, as you're watching this one develop, we're on an icing call now. What are we thinking here out of the Ducks? What do they got to do to get back in this one, now down by 1?
Yeah, the Ducks have pretty much bent over already, so I don't think there's anything they can really do. I just think you might as well pack your bags at the first intermission. And I mean, they're already at home, so I guess they can't really go anywhere, but might as well head back to sleep because that's what they look like they're doing right now.
Now that's what we kind of, oh, here's an opportunity. Ducks see it go by the wayside. Huso far out of his net, turns it aside on the pads. Good save there by Huso, and now the Red Wings again back on the forecheck, and this is what Clem's talking about. The Ducks have not had the defending skill against this Red Wings forecheck. Yeah, sure, they've had 2 scoring chances so far of the Ducks, but again, right, when you don't score on them, and secondary 2, when every puck that goes below your goal line, the Red Wings are coming up with in some form or fashion, it kind of makes for a long night if you're the Anaheim Ducks, and we're only 10 minutes in and they're already down 1-0 after a dumb penalty leads to a goal against. Here's an opportunity now coming in on the attack. The Red Wings again busting into the Duck zone. This one goes off the blocker of John Gibson, squirts in front, and the Ducks will clear, but this just it. It seems like the attack of the Red Wings is just a little bit too much for the Ducks here early on, as they're just kind of melting inside their own zone a little bit as this game continues to go on. 9:16 to go here in the first period, as we're looking for this one to continue going. The chance here for the Red Wings to keep it in, they do, and this is just puck battles, right? We talked about it last night. Puck battles are not going in the favor of the Ducks, but that's the one thing you can change, is how hard you fight to win puck battles. And right now, even in the offensive zone, every puck that bobbles away from the Ducks, it's the Red Wings coming back, transitioning the other way, and here they are into the offensive zone, and they've got an opportunity to get this going, but the Red Wings now to the middle of the ice. Shot flipped up on one of the Red Wings players, and that just kind of scurried away a good scoring chance. But the Red Wings again win the puck battle, keep it alive, and the Ducks just bobbling, fumbling pucks like it's their job tonight. And that's all we've really seen so far out of the Ducks through 11 and a half minutes. Red Wings.
Yeah, they're slower than Detroit right now. There's been a couple things that the refs have let go this game, so it's a fair, free game going right now.
And the shot saved by Gibson off the point shot. He'll cover up. But just like that, in that span of describing to you what's going on with the Red Wings and Ducks here, the Red Wings have now put up 9 shots through the first less than 12 minutes of the hockey game. So it's one of those, this game's kind of gotten away from the Ducks early and often here, as they just can't seem to stop bleeding turnovers and bleeding lost puck battles. And I guess it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of start coming up with a little bit more effort here in this game to try and turn this one around a little bit, because they are going to need it, quite honestly, as we're up to 45 viewers on the stream so far. Not live at once, sorry, but live altogether. Folks, if you're new to the channel, what I'd like you to do over the next rest of your time in the stream, consider hitting that subscribe button to us here on Clemhawks. If you're enjoying Gilles TV, if you're enjoying Clem's Takes, heck, if you're enjoying my terrible play-by-play, we'd love to have you along for more of these. We talk MLB, we talk NHL. Heck, you know what? The biggest thing to happen in Canada and sporting world in a while, the World Cup of Soccer, will be, well, live streaming that starting on Sunday. So we'd love to have you along for all things sports here on Clemhawks. We talk NASCAR, that's kind of Clem's specialty. He's got a little MLB stuff, and of course Gilles TV and I covering off the hockey segment very well and the baseball segment very well. So we'd love to have you stick with us here if you'd be so kind to consider hitting that subscribe button us here on the channel. But as we currently sit, 3,787 subscribers on the channel, so we're getting somewhere slowly but surely, but we'd love to try and hit that 3,800 mark here sometime soon. All right, folks, we are going to get back to hockey here in a moment, but just 2 quick thoughts from each of you on kind of what we're going to expect the rest of the way home in this first period.
If it's any indication, this is a game that the Red Wings should win, and Anaheim needs to get their legs underneath them right now.
Clem?
Yeah, the Ducks look like they suck.
It's a fair assessment. Notable off-season additions for the Ducks. Here's a couple of names: Brett Leeson, Ryan Strome, Frank Vatrano, Nathan Beaulieu, John Klingberg, Dmitry Samarukov, and Ole Ulevi. That's a lot of notable names across the NHL, and for the Ducks it still hasn't translated to anything quite yet, as the Ducks will win the face-off in their own zone. They'll clear it into the middle of the ice. They retreat at their own blue line. They've got possession here. They'll rim it in now, and it'll go back behind Husso, take a funny hop off the boards right onto the stick of Cedar, who will work this one up into the neutral. This one goes a 1 puck battle for the Red Wings. Another 1 puck battle for the Red Wings. I guess that could have been a little bit of a questionable hit, but in terms of maybe taking a penalty, but that will not be called. The Red Wings will sustain the attack. Larkin loses that puck battle, but immediately flipped by the Ducks into the neutral zone, back onto a Red Wing stick, who fires it down to John Gibson. Near side wall now, the puck on the stick of the Ducks. It'll work across and go all the way the length of the ice for not an icing call. I guess they're going to rule both teams could have had a chance to touch it and they didn't. Chancing off for the icing. Here's a turnover for the Red Wings, uncharacteristic so far. But again, they just retrieve the puck almost immediately after a mismanagement and get it back going the other way. But the Ducks now with the puck in their own zone or offensive zone here. An opportunity for Klingberg to walk in. He fires it off the side of the net. And that will not be as much of a dangerous chance as it looked to be. Tough short angle for Klingberg as a right-hand shot walking down the right-hand side. Here's an opportunity now for Fowler to retreat it in his own zone. He'll work it up to Klingberg, who's smooth skating out there. He's up in the rush now. This one worked into the deep territory. Zegras got it for the Ducks. He'll work it back to the one-time opportunity. It'll be fired wide of the net. 8-5 the shots with 6:30 to go here in this first period between the Ducks and Red Wings, an 8 p.m. game that has just barely gotten underway. John Klingberg, another shot turned away by Ville Husso, and quite honestly, I think that was the best Ducks look of the night. Olimata stuck out there on an extended shift. Husso getting bullied around in his own crease a little bit here now as the Red Wings recover in their own zone, work it up along the boards. And that there was the best sustained zone time we have seen from the Ducks tonight, and potentially their two best opportunities of the game so far. John Klingberg, though, says, we're not done yet on this shift. Here's another opportunity for the Ducks. This one blocked. It'll go out of the zone, and the Ducks will retreat and go for a line change where Klingberg finds a man right up the middle. Two men on the attack, but it bobbles off of a Red Wing skate. Husso recovers, and the Red Wings are going to get nasty in front of their own crease with the Anaheim Ducks. Boys?
That was actually a good little, 2 minutes or so that the Ducks played offense for the first time tonight.
That's about
I can't agree more, Clem.
It was about their best looks here early on in this game, and we'll see what they end up doing the rest of the way home. But folks, we're sitting now up over 1,000 views for the last 48 hours here on Clemhawks. Not a bad little get as we suddenly pressure up the live stream a little bit. Up over 50 views on the stream now. Like to hopefully try and crush off 75 before the end of the stream. Ron, welcome in. Welcome back, we should say. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's edition of Clemhawks. Really appreciate you being along. Just as we were talking about the views, I want to give you kind of an idea of what we're looking at for average view duration here on the stream, averaging 3.7 minutes on 53 views divided by 60. My friends, we are averaging over 3.3 hours on the stream despite only having 53 views. That's actually not too bad of a get. We're rocking and rolling. Let me throw you folks a fine ad there, see if we can get that going. And quickly, let's get rocking back to this hockey game, hopefully here. Boys, this has been kind of the problem, right? We've waited for the Ducks to do something all night, and we had that long stretch of no whistles. So I feel like you guys haven't gotten much of a chance to talk, but other than the goal, there really hasn't been much to talk about so far.
There's been some questionable plays, but, we'll leave the reffing situation alone. But good start to the game by the Detroit Red Wings. A bit slower for the Anaheim Ducks. Finally, last 2 or so minutes, they got their legs under them. But you can't start a game almost at the end of the first. You got to come into the game ready to go. And Anaheim wasn't.
Well, and they find themselves down 1-0 after one period of play almost. They've got a few minutes left here. Clem, any thoughts on what you've seen through almost a full period of play here?
No, not really.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. As we're sitting waiting for this one to get underway again, they're talking about the Hall of Fame classes. You're talking about guys who spent years in the NHL. But this one will be worked by the Red Wings off of the face-off. 5:38 to go here in this first period of play. 1-0 for the Red Wings. But we were talking about the shots briefly a few moments ago. Now 8-7 for the Red Wings after the Ducks came up with a flurry of chances here just moments ago before the TV timeout, I guess you could say. The Ducks now find themselves again in the offensive zone, but it goes up and out of play. So we will have a whistle with 5:17 to go here in this first period. Berggren with the goal for the Detroit Red Wings so far. He's been a young rookie stepping into the lineup and producing points. Now 2 points in 3 games for them so far, so not a bad get for the Detroit Red Wings out of a young star in the making. As we get set for this face-off, they're showing the Detroit crowd, which is actually quite empty as well. That's unusual. I think Detroit's a big hockey town, and for some reason they don't have as many butts in the seats as I think they should, especially given that they're winning as many games as they are so far this year. A lot improved over last year. 5 minutes to go here in this first period of play. 8-7 the shots, 1-0 the goal column for the Detroit Red Wings. This one worked ahead, and it'll be moved by the Red Wings through the neutral zone. They're coming up with this puck for a brief moment, but the Ducks recover. They'll flip it back into the Detroit's end. It'll be gloved down. That's always the most dangerous play, because if you turn that over, it could be a bad chance against, and if your team touches it, it's a glove pass. Anyway, here's Dylan Larkin firing a shot to the middle. He can't get it going onto a Red Wings stick, and here is a big-time win by Silfverberg on a race to the puck in the offensive zone. He's got a chance here for Terry to turn it back. It will go down low to the near side boards, but they will rule it was a high stick, and we will have a stoppage in play yet again. So all of a sudden this game's slowing down heavy here in this middle part of the late half of the first period. Clem, you look like you're analyzing something. Let me know what's on your mind.
Well, I'm looking at some tweets by the Portland Pickles because they've gone up 1,300 followers in the last 2 days, and we can't seem to get followers on our social media, so I'm confused.
All right. Well, I could not tell you. Social media confuses this guy. I'm 80 at heart, mid-20s physically. Gilles TV, we've got less than 5 to play. What's each team got to do to come out with at least a tie or a lead in this period?
Well, since Anaheim's at home and not Detroit, Anaheim needs to get their fans into it. There is a lot of Detroit fans there, but Anaheim needs to keep pressuring Detroit how they have been the last 3 or so minutes. And with Detroit, just keep putting shots on net. That's what we saw in last night's game. Shots on net causes chaos.
And that's kind of the key to success for the Flames last night and the Kings last night. Both throwing some pucks on net, scoring some goals. We're in a commercial break, folks, as we get set for the back end of this first period. It's our pleasure to have you along this evening. Thank you for choosing Clemhawks for your hockey entertainment this evening. It's our great pleasure to be broadcasting this evening's game for you. And if you're new to the channel and would love to stick around, we'd love to have you. And by virtue of that, if you'd be so kind to hit that subscribe button, that would mean the world to us this evening, as we're trying to get up over that 3,800 subscriber hump, as it's just been one of those things we can't seem to bust through on in the past few months, but we'll hopefully get there here in the next little bit, as we've now passed 10 viewers on the stream. Thank you to everybody tuning in again this evening. I just want to make mention of that. We're very grateful to have you along, as we're just kind of throwing ourselves at team fan bases and seeing what happens. The Ducks win the face-off as we return back to action. 4:18 to go here in this first period of play. They've got it on the offensive near corner. Ducks player falls down. Red Wings battling for the puck, and they're looking to come up with a puck battle win, and they do. And they will be up and out of the zone, and here they go down the wing. They could have had a chance to drive to the net. A fan shot, missed shot, and Red Wings kind of starting to pressure in the Ducks zone, but the Ducks recover. They'll work it off the boards. Ducks now leave it there for the Red Wings, who have it in their own zone. Looking option, looking option, looking option. Switch with me, friends, switch with me. And there's the chance by Wallman to go back across to his other guy. Tipped in to the Ducks zone now on the zone entry by the Detroit Red Wings. This one will be moved ahead by the Ducks on the recovery into the Wings zone. Wings looking for something here to get defensively a turnover. They do, and look at this. Just the sloppy puck management by the Anaheim Ducks is going to cost them, and there's an opportunity. That was a gorgeous looking chance for Sundqvist, I believe, but he can't get it going. Back the other way into the Red Wings zone it goes. Ducks, well, they're going to come up with it for the moment being. Red Wings still trying to battle for this. Sundqvist trying to come up with something. He can't do it. And now a chance here as it's worked by the Red Wings, but it looks like we are going to have a penalty against Oskar Sundqvist, who man, you talk about a guy who's got the flow going. He's got a lot of hair on that head of his, and he is going to chirp his way to the box now. All right. Anyway, you guys ready for this power play for the
I have to
Ducks?
go deal with my kid. I'll be right back.
All right. Gilles TV's got kids to deal with. Clem, you ready for this
That was
power
a-
play for the Ducks?
That was a bad penalty. That was dumb. Literally just I think he got away with a high stick first, and then he just tried to push him over like he was a rocking chair or something. But that was it's Sundquist. He shot it right into the blocker. Like, what are you doing? You got the whole left side of the net. Direct your puck, dude.
So if the worst power play in the NHL is worse than 9.8, something is absolutely wrong. The Ducks are at 9.8 operating percentage so far on the power play this year. We knew going into that game the other night that it was bad against the Florida Panthers, and it's still very bad. Here's an opportunity short side, just clubbing up on it was Milano.
Oh, that should have been a
not
goal.
with the Ducks. Sorry, he's with the Caps. Shots blocked again, and the Ducks just cannot seem to get any kind of good chance on net here. They're going to work it back to the point, and here's an opportunity. Shot fired, scores. What a goal there from the Ducks. They just kept pressuring, and who else? Gilles TV will have to come back and talk all about his boy there, but Mason McTavish on the power play for the Anaheim Ducks ties this game at 1 apiece as the Ducks take the shot lead 10-9.
Well, they should have had a goal there about 20 seconds ago, too. They had a wide open net. Might have been McTavish. I think it was that one right there that they just showed the replay of. He had a wide open net, glove side, and Huso, didn't get his glove up. He just kind of bodied it. And I feel like he definitely would have had a shot opportunity if he would have gotten it closer to the post. But he had another one, got a rebound. Unfortunately, what was it? I don't know who shot. Whatever. Definitely could have had some goals before that. They actually got the goal, but they tied it up. So I guess that's all that matters.
So 2 power play goals and 1 from your boy Mason McTavish, Gilles TV.
Yeah, I seen that. That was a really nice rebound goal by McTavish.
So now here's a chance for the Ducks to maybe walk out of this game. You talk about getting the crowd into it at home. That ought to do the trick, I'd say, as the Ducks have gotten things going here early in this first period at last. Guess early in this game, not exactly early in this first period. I'm going to hit go live quickly as we've got a scrum in front of the Ducks net. And with $1:42 to go, the shot's now 10 apiece between the Ducks and Red Wings here in this first period. They're going to talk back in the studio during the first period intermission. Trev's going to talk with Jonathan Berggren. And the Detroit Red Wings on the board first, so we're going to talk about that, I guess, in the intermission according to the broadcast. But folks, we'll be heading out after we break down this period very quickly here, as here's an opportunity. The Red Wings have a terrible face-off probability against Strome here. It's 44.8 chance, but the Red Wings work it back and win it, and the tip in front almost goes to the back of the net by Bertuzzi on Gibson. Opportunity here for the Ducks now to turn this one out, and they don't, as the Red Wings continue to pressure, get a shot, and Gibson the save. Now up to 13 shots against this game. The Red Wings spacing the Ducks around in the zone, making passes, opening guys up. This one goes up off the end glass. It'll be battled there. $1:15 to go here in this first period. Ducks are going to work this one across into the middle. Red Wings retreat and recover. They will flip it into the neutral. Looking for a high stick there was the Ducks to just knock that play down. Red Wings load, shoot, save by Gibson, who, he had to come a ways out to make that save, but he still does.
Yeah, beautiful positioning by Gibson and good shot mentality by Larkin. Not trying to force it to Bertuzzi, just taking a shot. Anything can happen.
Clem, we've got about a minute to play. What are we thinking?
I think the Ducks have stepped it up a little bit in the last 7 minutes, but I think everybody gets lucky now and then. So we'll see if the Red Wings can actually respond and put something together. They're the better team. They should. So we'll see.
And Minnesota Wild's goalie sucks just came into the chat to say, don't bet on Minnesota. I don't think anybody would bet on Minnesota. Clem, confirm?
Gosh, they're so bad.
Hockey, football, everything.
Hey, the
Baseball.
Vikings are 8-1.
The Vikings are 8-1. Sounds like playoff disappointment to me, baby.
It will be. You're right.
Until, they meet KC in the Super Bowl and lose.
That's what I'm saying. Playoff disappointment. All right. Face off outside of the Ducks end in front of the Ducks bench on the far side of the screen. Cop waved out. It'll be won by the Ducks, and we've got 50 seconds exactly left in this hockey game. Hockey game's first period, sorry. We're out after the first period, so it don't much matter to us, I guess you could say. But anyway, the Red Wings are going to work this one ahead. Shot fired in on the rim to Gibson. Ducks recover, but it's all kinds of scrambled up behind the net. This, again, to the Red Wings' credit, just trying to win puck battles any way they can. 27 seconds on the clock. Rimmed around the boards. Zegras leaves it there for his man. Shot. Oh my, what a pass on the backhand. That was zipped. And the Ducks continue to pressure in the offensive zone. 14 seconds to go now as the Red Wings recover. Ernie flips it out off glass and into the Ducks zone. Ducks going to play pitch and catch in their own end. Fire it on down into the Red Wings end. And that, my friends, will do it for this first period of play. All right, boys. That's it. That's all. She's done. Another period of hockey broadcast on Clemhawks. What did we think?
Oh, good start to the game by the Detroit Red Wings. Anaheim slow out of the gate, but McTavish, Canada's boy from the last World Juniors, doing what he does best and getting his team back in it on the power play.
All right, and Clem, your thoughts after the first period of play?
Yeah, the Ducks looked like they didn't completely suck the second half, so they have something going for them, but I don't think it'll be enough.
All right, as we close out, I'm just going to quickly give everybody one last ad, and we're going to run some numbers as to see how this stream is going to finish up for us. I just want to quickly add up the numbers. At 4-minute watch time, friends, we are going to finish up over 5.2 hours watched on the stream on 78 views. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in this evening. I'm Yak. I always forget that. I always want to say this is Clemhawks. I'm Yak. But I'm Yak. He's Clem. And that's Gilles TV up there. Boys, any last thoughts as we get ready for the rest of this game?
Just keep going if you're Detroit.
Clem?
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. All right, folks, enjoy the rest of the game. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. One last parting message to you. If you're leaving tonight, I'd love for you to subscribe and hang out with us during the rest of the videos and live streams here on Clemhawks. Thanks so much for everything this evening. We are